All right. So method name starting with uppercase will work, but convention means it is good practices. It doesn't mean it will not work. You give a class name in lowercase, it will work. But convention means it's not a good practice. Understand the difference between good practice. Correct? So conventions doesn't mean it will give you error. Okay, you give a method name in capital T. It will work. But you should not do that. It's not a good practice. That is what we guys are telling. Okay, let's start with our today's series of lecture, guys. Let's begin. So we are going to today learn this keyword further in detailed manner. Fine. I'll keep the topic little short today. I've got some meeting, right? So I'll just finish this part quickly. थोड़ा जल्दी class complete हो जाएगा आज, ठीक है? Right. Let's see this here. Now, when you're using this keyword, understand the usage of this keyword. There are two ways. I can write this dot non-static member. This dot non-static member, which we have already done that. The second way of using this keyword is this with parenthesis. Okay. I'm using a parenthesis here if you observe. Now, when do we use this? When do we use this? That is a question. Now, when do we use this? I've already talked about it. We use this to access non-static members, in short. Okay. But when do we use this? So, see this here. We can use this keyword with parenthesis to call a constructor from another constructor. Okay. The statement is very clear. You can call a constructor using this keyword. We can use this to call a constructor from another constructor. Okay. We cannot, or let me write here as a note. Note. We cannot call constructor using this keyword from a method. From a method. Let's understand this. What does this mean now? What is the meaning of it? Let's see this here. Okay, I have a constructor. Fine. I have one more constructor. What is this called as? Constructor overloading. What is it called as? Constructor overloading. What is constructor overloading? More than one constructor in same class. Is there more than one constructor in same class? Is there more than one constructor in same class, guys? Yes. Number of arguments are different. So now what I'll do, I'll call this constructor. A, let's call this constructor. A1 is equal to new A. A1 is equal to what? New A. Now look at that. When you do this from line number 11, firstly tell me which constructor will be called. 7. Is it calling that? See this here. Line 11 to 7. Line 11 to 7. Now, inside your line 7 constructor, I will use this keyword. I will use this keyword. Okay. I'm using this keyword here. Okay. This keyword at line 8 will call what? Just press the control. Okay. I will talk about these IDs. Monday, first we will install the ID. Just see. From line 8, what is it calling? What is it calling? Huh? Line 4. So how did I call the constructor at line 4? Can you tell me? Using this keyword. Did you understand? But the call is happening from another constructor. Is this a method? Let's make it a method. What is this? When I write void, this becomes method. Am I able to call from method? Let's remove void. Constructor. Now read this point. Is this clear? Online students, is this clear? If yes, please make a note of it. Done. Okay. Make a note of this program. No, it's not. We don't know what is default constructor yet. I'll come to that later. Constructor's concept, default constructor, we still don't know. I'll discuss about this later. Okay? Done? Continue? Okay, see this here now. Now, let me create a constructor int x. Let's write here a. Now, let me create here a main method. A1 is equal to new a. Line number 11. Line number 11. Will call a constructor at which line? Can you tell me? 7. Now I'm going to write this of 100. Can you tell me line number 8 will call the constructor at which line? 4. And when it calls line 4, what is going to x? 100. So let us try to print here x. What will it print? 100. Is this clear? What will it print? 100. What will it print? 100. Is this clear, everyone? Everyone got this? Okay. So please write this down quickly. Done? Everyone? Yes? Okay. Now, let's do one thing. Let's add more constructors here. So what I'll do now, I'll add another constructor which has two arguments, int x, comma, int y. So line 14 is calling which line? 10. Line 11 is calling 7. Now in number, line number 8, I'm writing this. So line 8 will call 4. And ultimately line 4 will print x. And line 4 will print y. So what is x and y here now? 1000 and, did you understand? Make a note of it without seeing. Write down. Don't simply copy. Is it clear? All of you? Now observe. Next thing. Now, there is one more important point here. Okay, that is while calling constructor, while calling constructor, this keyword cannot be second statement, cannot be second statement, or so on. What do you mean by that? Or so on. What do you mean by that? While calling a constructor, this keyword cannot be second statement or so on in another constructor. In another constructor. What does this mean? Observe. Now, I'm going to write here A. Let's write here A int x. So I'm going to write here this keyword, and then let's write here SYSO 500. Let me write here 100. Firstly, let's understand this code slowly. Program execution starts with main. Line number 12, when it runs, it will call line 7. Now, line number 8, can I tell this keyword is first statement here? Since it's the first statement, there is no error. But if I use this as a second statement, what do you see here? Second statement while calling constructor. What are you seeing here? Huh? Error. Let's make it first statement. Now it is first statement. Is there any error? But let's make it second statement. Let's make it second statement. What do you see here? Error. Did you understand now? Everybody got this point? Everyone clear with this? So you have to be careful about it. It is while calling constructor, while accessing non-static member, this rule is not applicable. While you're accessing non-static variable, non-static method, this sequence doesn't matter. It can be first statement, it can be second statement, it doesn't matter. But while calling a constructor, it has to be, read this point. While calling constructor, this keyword cannot be second statement or so on in another constructor. Okay? Please make a note of it. Write down quickly. take this call. Everyone clear with this? Everybody got this? Yes? Okay. So, if I make this a first statement, can we just see the output here? What is the output? Let's analyze. Line 14 calls 7. Line 8 calls 4. So, the first output will be 500. 100, sorry. It will be 100. Correct? Closing bracket. What do you mean by closing bracket? Go back to the place from where it is called and stop at next line. So what is the next output? Closing bracket. What is the meaning of closing bracket? Go back to the place from where it is called. Then closing bracket stop. So the output is 100 and 500. Is this clear? Everyone? Yes? Quickly write down without seeing. Is it done? Okay. Now, the next thing, we are going to look at constructor chaining, right? Let's try to understand what is constructor chaining. Okay, let's see how many people will understand this definition. Constructor chaining in Java, right? What does it mean? See, constructor chaining in Java is a mechanism in which one constructor calls another constructor of same class. I'll come to the super class later, for which we should know inheritance. When you're calling one constructor from another constructor, it is basically what? Constructor chaining. How are we calling one constructor from another constructor? Just now I did that. See, what is the answer given? This keyword, which means we have already done this now. The other way to do that, what is the second approach? What is the third approach? See, let's see this here now. Let me explain this. What does it mean? What is constructor chaining? So constructor chaining. So when you see a chain, the chain has, okay, an interlocking system like this. This is the first hook of the chain, then interlocked, then interlocked, and then interlocked. Correct? So there is an interlocking mechanism that you tend to see here. Correct? That's how a chain is formed. Now, if you observe, in constructor chaining, what will happen? If I take this example, observe here, what will happen? When you're calling one constructor from another constructor, I'm calling it like this. Yeah? I'm calling it like this. Step 1, closing bracket, I will go back here. Correct? So if you notice, there is a chain like structure that is getting formed in terms of the flow of the program. Using this keyword, I'm calling this. Closing bracket, I come back to the place from where it is called. When this happens, it is called as constructor chaining. What is it called as? Constructor chaining. because the flow of the code forms a chain like structure. Let's see this here. One more example. I'll do one thing. Uh, Let me write here this of 300 comma 400, and let's create one more constructor, a int x comma int y, and let's try to print here x, and let's try to print here y. Now see the flow. If you now observe the flow, it will be chain like structure. See, from here I'm calling this constructor step 1. Step number 2, from here I'm calling this. Correct? Step number 3, from here I'm calling this. Fine? Now see, closing bracket. Go back to the place from where it is called. So now you observe the flow. Observe the flow. Yes or no? Correct? Then after that, closing bracket. So go back to the place from where it is called. So is it again the flow which is circular? Yeah? Again, go back to the place from where it is called. Correct? Is the flow again circular? Yeah? Yes or no? So this is where the name comes, chaining of constructor. Because the flow that is created when you're calling one constructor from another constructor, if you carefully observe the flow, it is chain like structure. That's why the definition that you see here, constructor chaining in Java is a mechanism in which one constructor calls another constructor, which calls another constructor. I'll just take this much because super keyword we don't know yet. So what is the definition, guys? What is the definition? Constructor chaining definition. Is this clear? Yes. Is this definition clear for you? But now, okay, now see here. Can we create object to call another constructor in chaining? See here. No, you cannot create a new object in order to call another constructor chaining. Constructor chaining in Java is achieved by this keyword. Okay? So this is something very important rule that they're specifying here. That when you're doing constructor chaining, it's telling that use this keyword and do not create an object. Okay? So this keyword calls another constructor within the class. I hope this is clear everyone now. Everybody got this? Yes? Did you understand this? कुछ तो रिएक्शन दे दो. हाँ ना. राइट. ऐसे ही बैठे रहोगे तो मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा? Write this one. We will end the class here today. Little early I'm leaving. I will again see you on Monday. Tomorrow we have alumni meet that is happening at 12:30. Please carry your mobile phones and headsets tomorrow because some students will be online. Possibly some students might be offline as well. So carry a mobile phone with headsets because here the speakers for online will not be that clear. For online, when students speak, for you, it might not be that clear. Okay? So carry mobile phones with headsets tomorrow. Everyone. Done with this definition? Thank you so much, SK Mishra. Okay, so we will stop here and we will meet again the next class, Monday, the syllabus class. Soon, AWS classes will start. Okay, AWS is easy. We'll make it very easy. There's no coding involved. Okay, but again, a very powerful technology in terms of getting job. Okay, very powerful technology, DevOps. Fine. So we will take that in a very, very systematic manner. Fine. People, whoever has not been a part of the program, again, there is an announcement. Call the number, because I will not call anyone. This is our policy. I will not call any single student to ask why have you not joined. Suddenly we will change off to paid batch. This is the procedure. I'm first only telling this. Is this clear? So we will not communicate calling to anyone. When suddenly it changes, then after that, right, you miss few classes in that, we will not make you join in that batch. Okay? I hope you're clear with the policy. Everyone, क्योंकि ये पक्का ऐसे ही होने वाला है. बाद में बोलना मत कि आपने बोला नहीं था मुझे. Reason being is, after that, if you miss classes, then you will not be able to follow me. So, soon I'm not going to take classes for one month and all. Let me make another clarity here very clearly. The demo class will not go on for 1 month. Second thing I've mentioned this very clearly. People have to quickly take the decisions, arrive at a decision and take a call. Because we will move you to the PSA app and the classes will start happening in app. Okay? Right, guys. Bye-bye. Take care. I hope all my classes are going easy. Able to understand? When I start AWS, you will enjoy more. Trust me. One of the best syllabus I've designed for AWS. You will not find this 100% on Udemy, YouTube, and all these things. Don't worry. One of the best AWS classes, which will be very structured, highly simplified, less coding, and you will definitely like that when we start with it. Okay.